guys, with that, again, I hope you're all doing very well. Hope you're enjoying your Friday evenings. Thank you so much for joining me. But we got to get down to the brass tacks. I have some obligations that I have to fulfill for you, you sons of bitches. Torturing me, watching me suffer. I'm gonna drink my Eero tea. Excuse me. Oh, that's good tea. With a little bit of whiskey in there too, Chad. I need a little bit of whiskey tonight. I found a little bit left in the bottle, just a little bit. I'm trying. I'm just sucking it down. Miss Evil Ducky, you did not miss the review, not at all, and welcome to the stream. Matter of fact, I'm just about to start. I'm just gonna go over what I'm gonna be playing today, doing today. So as I said, guys, at the top, I'm doing my scene by scene breakdown of M. Night Shyamalan-Ding-Don's The Last Airbender, one of the worst, not only one of the worst movies of the last decade, but probably if I had like a top 5, like, just films I hate and I despise, this is in it. Last Airbender's in it. It's a terrible film. I've not seen this movie in 10 years. The last time I saw it, I didn't finish all of it when I did originally see it in 2010. I walked out of the theater. Didn't pay a single fucking cent. Yes, I snuck in. I didn't give a damn. Yes, I committed a crime, chat. I don't give a shit. I'll admit it here on stream. I paid nothing for The Last Airbender. And I'm glad I didn't. Doesn't deserve any money. So it's been a while, and I had to remind myself, like, okay, what actually happened in this movie? Not a whole lot. A lot of fucking word vomit, chat. A lot of exposition for no fucking reason. We'll get into it. But I also have another obligation to you guys. I have to read the next chapter in my erotic Sonic fanfiction chronicle. It was a hell of a doozy of a chapter Wednesday, guys. Fucking Sonic punching all of Amy's teeth out like about to like physically assault. I mean, he did physically assault her, but sexually assault her too. It was pretty messed up. He still has that ball disease. We're on chapter 22. We have 22, 23, 24, 20. We have 4 chapters left, chat. 4 fucking chapters left. That blows my mind. Hopefully there's a goddamn sequel. There's some other erotic Sonic fan fiction I've discovered, which you can do, because I still have my other obligation. I gotta wear my furry suit on stream for you guys. Probably gonna wear on Double Toasted too. Just I feel obligated to do that as well. So you'll see me here, and also when I'm in the Sonic furry suit and Double Toasted. And chat, I thought, it felt so appropriate with the release of Castlevania Season 3 on Netflix, which, by the way, I've watched 2 episodes. Great so far. Getting rave reviews. If you guys have not watched Netflix's Castlevania, do yourself a favor and fucking do so. It is fantastic. It is, I feel confident saying this. I feel confident saying it, especially at the end of the 2nd season. This is the best video game adaptation of all time, bar none. Nothing touches it. I'm so happy how good this show is. Thank you, Sarah. Welcome to the stream, Sarah. Thank you for the 50 biddies. Howdy, Chris. How are you? I'm doing very well. Stream day. Yay. I'm doing well, Sarah. No, it's a pleasure to have you here. We're just about to start the review. Can't wait to binge. Do it, Broadway Tale. It's an easy binge, too. Episodes, I think, are about like 28 minutes each. First season's 4 episodes. Second season's 8. And this season, I believe, is 10. So I'm gonna try to watch some more, because I want to talk about it tomorrow on 8-Bit Crumbs. I know Corey hasn't had the time to talk about it, but at least I want to be able to give a chance to talk about the show. I think it'd be cool. Oh, you saw season 1 and 2. Nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, watch season 3, man. Get ahead of me. Yay, hentai Harold Bog. Yes, the hentai. It always starts and ends with hentai in my stream chat. You fucking know. I said that I said that yesterday. I say that every time I stream. Every time I see hentai. But, my Eero tea. We have to talk about The Last Airbender, guys. As I said, Jesus. This is an adaptation of Nickelodeon's critically, commercially successful animated series. Originally created in 2005 by Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Kodietsko. Hopefully I'm saying their names correctly. Also went on to do The Legend of Korra. Currently writing multiple Last Airbender and Legend of Korra comics right now, continuing the story on, and also producing the live-action Netflix adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Hopefully that'll be better. I think that's releasing sometime either this year or early 2021. Personally, leave it alone, chat. The animated series is fantastic. Make sequel movies or something like that for these original characters. But I digress. They're not going to do. You're going to do whatever the hell they want. But still, maybe it'll be in better hands with Netflix. Maybe they haven't had the best luck when it comes to adapting anime or anime-inspired cartoons. So you know, fucking M. Night Shyamalan, apparently, allegedly, he says he's a fan of this property, but if you watch this movie, you wouldn't fucking know it. He came to these two poor schmucks chat. He says, I want to make a movie. And I even have, because I have, like, the back in the day chat, I own these on DVD, like the first and second season. And there's a whole, like, mini documentary in the second season box set with M. Night Shyamalan talking about the making of the movie. And it's like, all right, man, you haven't had a hit. Like, at this time, chat, this is when he was doing shit like The Happening and, you know, like Lady in the Water. So he was already, you know, falling off a fucking steep cliff at this point in terms of quality. And I guess, because he did The Happening right before The Last Airbender. And so I was like, I don't know about this. And he's just there talking about it. You just see the two creators going, yep, cannot wait to see it. And then the movie came out, and it was terrible, as we all know. And then when Michael DiMartino and the other guy, when they were premiering the first trailer, I believe, it was for A Legend of Korra, which I think came out in like 2012 or something. They had a specific thing, a mandate that was a part of the press release if anyone would come in, that no one would ask any questions about the last Airbender movie, because they fucking hate that thing. And they're executive producers on this film, but they had nothing to do with it. Executive producer means, chat, is that you are either the original creator of the property and you have sometimes some creative input, or an executive producer functions in a similar way to when you see Steven Spielberg's name in particular, executive producing a movie. He doesn't give a shit. He can do some creative input, but he doesn't care. He just throws money throws money at the film, and he wants to see a return. That's what executive producers mean. You're either the creator of the thing, you sometimes have some type of creative input, or you throw money at the film and you get some back in return. That's the only thing that serves. And these guys certainly did not have any creative input in this movie. Because I can imagine when they saw the fucking dailies for this thing, they were extremely disappointed. This film, again, chat, came out in the summer of 2010, had a fucking production budget of $150 million. If you watch this movie, the first thing you notice is how terrible and cheap this looks. I mean, this proves that, because this was the first, I think it was the biggest budget that M. Night Shyamalan ever had. I can't think if he had a huge budget on The Happening or even Signs. I mean, maybe substantial, but nothing like this. But it blows my mind. I'm flummoxed at how terrible the CGI consistently looks in this movie. And right off the bat, when it's just fucking snow and water and ice, how do you make water look bad? That shouldn't be a thing. Water should always look good. You just film on location, goddammit. And apparently they filmed on location, chat, but it's like, you couldn't tell. Because this thing is it's like the prequel effect. Like, everything is just green screens, and when there are practical sets, they just look so fucking fake, you can knock them over. Everything's made out of goddamn styrofoam, or some cases just like that. It's not that faux wood. It's like it's wood, but it's like faux wood. It's like a cheaper wood. It's like, that's not fucking wood. If I push that thing, I could punch right through it. I'll be the goddamn Avatar. The movie just looks fucking cheap. It doesn't look good. So it came out, chat. Commercially did not do well, especially here in the States. It had a box office about $319.7 million. I was like, oh, that was a lot of money, but still. They, with the additional, 3D conversion, with the marketing costs, this film barely turned a profit. They were going to originally do a trilogy, which thank God they didn't. But because, it didn't do as well as Paramount Nickelodeon wanted, they said, all right, they put a kibosh to the trilogy. And this movie, and this is the other thing that pisses me off, chat, because the original creators, they wanted to do a sequel series, but with Aang and the other characters when they're older, and Nickelodeon said no, because of the negative influence that the Last Airbender film was having in the pop culture zeitgeist. Like, no, people don't want that. If you're gonna do something in this universe, do with a whole set of characters, which is, hey, that's cool. Like the first season, Legend of Korra, to me is great. I like the third season. Second and fourth season, I'm not a fan of whatsoever. We did get some good stuff from that, but still, it's like, oh, we could have gotten so many other cool adventures with the end game, the game, chat, as they were called, and that's very frustrating. It really makes me depressed, because this show is, if you guys have not seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, please do so. It's one of the greatest American cartoons of all time. I absolutely adore it. It's my number one. It actually circumvented Batman, chat. You know, it could probably, like, my top two have always been Avatar and Batman. And Batman's a very close second, but Avatar just went above it. Actually, the whole DC universe, I guess, kind of. Maybe they go back and forth, honestly. But still. So to set this up for you, chat, because the film does repeatedly throughout the entire fucking movie. That's all this movie is. I'm going to tell you right now. This movie is word vomit. They just vomit. They excrete. They just blow exposition at you. And it's not just like a one and done type thing. It's like, no, they repeat the same shit over and over and over again. And a lot of it's just like, why are you even mentioning this? There's just no point to mentioning this. And I mean, the big reason for that, Chad, is because they realize, like, oh, M. Night Shyamalan went, oh shit, how are we going to cram 20 episodes of a season into an hour and 40-minute movie? I know. I'll just have every line that a character has, and it seeds in. It doesn't fucking seeds in. It just fucking crams in the face of the audiences of all this exposition, important plot, and lore. Every single goddamn line. Thank you, Arskipio, for the Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome to stream. Hope you're enjoying yourself. You're now the proud owner of 5 different emotes, including Mr. Revan Yang, Mr. Revan Hype, Mr. Revan Rage, Mr. Revan Low, and Mr. Revan Derp, which they should use for this film, chat. Just all infinite derp faces all around it. I love the Two Summer Baby. I love the animated series too. But that's what it is, chat. It is fucking word vomit. And like right at the front, which I didn't even mind at the front, like they do the whole... Anytime you see a movie that's not Star Wars do an opening crawl, it's never going to be good. I just noticed that consistently, because that's what this movie starts out with. Because, you know, Avatar, listen, it has that great opening number where it has that exposition by Katara saying that, you know, in our world of, you know, of earth, fire, air, and water, the four nations, these practice a specific element, able to manipulate it across the world. The one that kind of brings them all together is the Avatar. He's the reincarnation. You know, he's the one that controls all four elements. And then one day, the Avatar vanished. He hasn't been seen in 100 years. And in that time, chat, the Fire Nation has tried to take over the world using their technology. They've committed genocide against the air nomads because they believe that because of the original Avatar, he was a firebender. The cycle goes then next into the air nomads. So they said, fuck that, let's wipe them all out. And then the Avatar just hasn't been seen since, chat. So they're fighting against the Earth Kingdom and the Water Tribes, the North and Southern Water Tribes. And that's been the state of the goddamn world. It's like, okay, all right, that's fine. But then they had that Star Wars crawl. It's like, oh, this is never a good sign. Because we've seen this repeatedly, chat. We saw it in the Power Rangers movie when they fucking do it. We've seen it in Dune when they goddamn do it. Like, all these other films that want to be Star Wars and just fall flat on their goddamn face, they all have an opening crawl. It's like, I think the only one that's ever been able to get this right has been Star Wars. For the most part. I mean, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes those movies, even Star Wars doesn't even do it right sometimes with their opening crawl. Sometimes they really fuck up. At least we can say the original trilogy, they did a really good job in Force Awakens. You know, and Last Jedi, for those of you who enjoy it, I know you do. Rogue One didn't have an opening crawl. No. But, anyway, chat. So here we go, chat. So I did the whole spiel and everything. Like, now we're following two characters. Their names are Katara and Sokka from the animated series, but apparently the decision was made by M. Night Shyamalan, who directed, produced, and wrote this, that I'm just gonna change the names of the characters, or not change the names, like the spelling or anything, just the pronunciation of these characters' names. So we have Katara, which thank God they're saying her name correctly, but then we also have Sokka, who they just decided to call Sokka. Now, I looked at Sokka's name, and there's a goddamn O in front of that, after that S. So why are you calling him Sokka? Where's the U? You know? Listen, I looked at all my goddamn vowels, and it's like, that's an O. Why are you making an sound with it? So that right at the bat, like, that's not a good sign. Now, I mean, the first bad sign, honestly, chat, is M. Night Shyamalan, for whatever weird reason, because, you know, he's of Indian, I mean, he's Indian. He's Indian. And for whatever reason, he's just totally bought into the whole idea. It's like that old Hollywood tradition, which thankfully has been changing over the last, you know, I'd say decade and a half, maybe at this point, of like all of our heroic characters need to be white. And so when we're first introduced to Katara and Sokka, they're white. Now, the big problem with that, chap, is that in, you know, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV show, each, you know, kind of a nation, it's like it's representative of specific real world cultures and countries. And for the water tribe, it's based on Inuit and Native American cultures. And so you expect Katara and Sokka to be brown, and they're anything but brown. There is some cultural appropriation going on. And the funny thing is about it, chat, is when we eventually go back to their goddamn village, we see that there are Inuit and Native American people there. And for whatever reason, Katara and Sokka just happen to be white, along with their grandmother Kai. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? That's some weird shit. Same with Aang. When we're introduced to him. He is typically, he's based on, really, I think it's like Tibetan. That kind of, really, it's the Buddhist religion, everything like that. I believe Aang is supposed to be Tibetan, or looks Tibetan. He's supposed to look goddamn Asian, chat. That's what I'm saying. And they cast this white kid as him. And, when you go to the Earth tribe, it's like a hodgepodge of everybody. It's just like, it's like, you have Koreans, you have various other Southeast Asian cultures, you have black people, you got white people. It's just a hodgepodge on all that thing. It's like, that's kind of weird. And which, in the show, the Air Tribe, they were based on Buddhist monks and things. In the Earth Kingdom, it was based on Chinese culture. Now, again, following that fucking old Hollywood trope, so all the hero characters are white, except for the villains. And the villains in this case, where, the Fire Nation, the show, they were clearly based off of Imperial Japan. It's reminiscent of Japanese culture and kind of the Japanese industrialization during the 1920s, 1930s, up to the 1940s, when we got Imperial Japan. But in this case, instead of, making, you would think, Japanese, casting Japanese actors, Shyamalan just said, no, I want to make them Indian. And I was like, oh, this is just weird. One, because we wanted to kind of like, I want the characters to look like me. And it's like, okay, but still, it just throws me off. And then it's just, you're just playing into the trope that people make fun of to death at this point. And it's just terrible that you have all the heroic white people facing off against the evil brown people. It's like, this is not good. It's not good, chat. Martin Spons, welcome to stream. Came in the good time. But we are introduced to Katara and Sokka, and we get a whole bunch of word vomit, chat. We know that they're part of the Southern Water Tribe. They once had a great city, but it was destroyed. Their father's off fighting a war. Their mom died, and now they're hunting seals, and Sokka's not good at hunting seals. He's actually really bad at it, because his father tried to teach him, but Sokka does not a really good job at all those things. And so, while they're hunting for one of these goddamn seals, chat, Sokka, he fucks up. He's like, I tried to do everything Dad told me I'm a failure. Even Katara agrees. She says, yes, audience, my brother is a failure. But Sokka and Katara, they see something in the ice. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it's like moving and glowing. And so, again, they're over ice, chat. So they've lived here for how long? They've lived here all their goddamn lives. And I think the first thing you want to do is, let's not just start hitting the ice beneath our feet. Let's not do that. That might be a bit of a mistake, because we could fall through and a current could take us. We could drown underneath the icy water. We can go into shock when we hit that fucking water. But no, Sokka, in his infinite fucking wisdom, takes his, hey, he got the boomerang, Chase got the remember the show, he's got the boomerang, and just begins whacking at this thing. I want that shiny shit. And he whacks on it, and it starts to break up. He's like, oh, this is a mistake. And then they go off running, chat. They all go off fucking running. And then this big old ball of ice just comes popping up, chat, and we see a big beam of light. The beam that you've seen in 2012's Avengers and Fan 4 Stick, or any sci-fi action film superhero movie between, I don't know, 2000 to 2020. How about that? For the last 20 years, he's made his other appearance. Oh my God! Don! With the $10 donation. Welcome to the stream, Don. How you doing? I'm doing my scene by scene breakdown of The Last Airbender. We got a lot to go. We're only in the first 5 minutes. I've had a lot to say. But we did indeed hit the stretch goal, guys. After my review, we're going to go ahead and vote on the next film. Next spoiler review. So again, Don, thank you so much. Here's to you, sir. And here's to you, chat, for for putting up with me in this review. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. You're shaking the pillars of heaven as we speak. Thank you. All right. All right, where are we? Okay, so the big beam of light we've seen for the past 20 goddamn years, and then we see the back of Dev Patel's head. He's playing Zuko in this. He goes, Uncle, look at that! And we cut. And we then go, and he's like, who is that? We don't know. And we then cut back to Katara and Sokka. And they go investigate. It's like, oh shit, there's a little bald white boy in there. Let's go help him. And there's this terrible looking CGI yak chat. Who's Appa, who, as we know in the original animated series, is a flying bison. And he's cute and cuddly and big. It's like, everyone loves Appa. Here he looks fucking weird and disgusting. I wanted him to die, chat. It's like, I would have taken Sokka's spear, put one right through the fucking eye, just twist it and go into the brain, chat, and just end it right there. And then give an on to the Fire Nation. So they get to this kid, and Katara, she's all concerned. She's like, oh, who is this boy? And he kind of wakes up, Che, looks at her. He's like, oh, he's so exhausted. Let's bring him back to our village. Cut. He's now back in the village, chat. He's putting, again, the editing in this movie is terrible. How they just go from one place to the other. Apparently, chat, there's about 35 to 40 minutes of this film that was like cut from the theatrical release because Paramount, this is during the 3D fucking craze, guys. Avatar had come out a year earlier. And they were like, okay, every action or sci-fi blockbuster film, some movie has to have 3D in it. And so in order to do the conversion faster, they said, you gotta cut you like 30, 40 minutes out of this movie. And that's what Shyamalan did. He cut 40 minutes in. So I imagine there's more scenes in this to make any sense because you go from place to place to place so fast. And there's a lot of ADR in here too, because there's even a point later on, chat, we're like about 20 minutes in the movie, and Katara and Sokka don't even know Aang or An's name yet. It's ridiculous, and like so much happens in between that time. 20 minutes! You don't know who this kid's name is you've been traveling with for weeks. Whatever. So, he's in his little goddamn ice hut, chat, and she's like, and Katara goes in there, and they have a conversation, and he's like, and it's just word vomit. That's all these conversations are, chat. It's like, I was scared, and I ran away, and I got trapped in a storm, and I made a big ball of ice, and I've been in there. I must have been gone for days. I got to get back home. Katara, okay. Oh, I hear something. Please stay here. Leaves. That's the conversation. That is literally the conversation. I saw this movie last night and finished it today. I'm not fucking joking. Now, chat, we cut back outside, and the obviously, you know, ethnically people that should be in this part of this village, Inuits, Native Americans, all that. It's like, yes, it feels natural, but you got your three fucking white people in the middle of all of them for whatever reason. Fucking Sokka, Katara, and their grandmother Kaya. And Ox out outwalks the Fire Nation, chat. They got on their boat, and we're introduced to Prince Zuko, chat. And we know he's Prince Zuko because he lays it all out there. And we got Dev Patel playing Prince Zuko. And Jesus Christ, Dev Patel's a good actor. He absolutely is. He's been in some great stuff. Slumdog Millionaire. What a wonderful feel-good movie. He's done some other stuff which has been great. But Jesus Christ, they gave him nothing to do. Again, just more word vomit. He says, I am Prince Zuko. I am the exiled prince of the Fire Lord. I'm here to restore my honor. I'm looking for the Avatar. Bring me all your elderly! And it's like, Jesus, okay. And so he wants all the elderly, chat, because he thinks that the Avatar is quite old. And so they have all these old people just fucking waddle out, and Zuko's just, man, he's looking like, I actually appreciate they actually call him Zuko, chat, because like, thank God you got one person's name right. And so he's looking at all the elders, he's like, yeah, you're not the Avatar. And eventually, one of the Fire Nation guards, they go in the hut that Aang's in there. It's like, you come out. And he comes out, chat, and it's like, and Zuko's like, what the fuck is this? You're an Arno, man. You're the Avatar, but you're too young. What is this nonsense? And again, chat, it's such a stilted conversation where he basically, goes to Aang's level. He says, I will burn this village and murder all the people here unless you come with me. I'm like, how's it start? Aang says, leave these people alone and go. Zuko says, I will kill everyone here and burn down this village unless you come with me. Aang, I will come with you. End scene. And now he's on the boat. Katara and Sokka, they are, besides themselves, chat. They're concerned about this boy they just found. Don't know his name yet. They didn't ask him his name. It's too much time has passed. They didn't bother to ask his name. We gotta go and get him. And they see the Appa, which they don't even know can fucking fly at this point, to go, oh shit, we should go over to him and go after Aang. Or An in this case. And they go over, they don't know his name yet. They just call him the boy. And they go on Appa and they fly towards the ship. And now, chat, we cut to Zuko and Ira. Oh! Tonio1290, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the host, my man. Always do appreciate the host, guys. Tonio, great show today. Thank you. No, it was a very fun show. You guys made it great. Really do appreciate it. Doing that with TJ is so much fun. He's a fantastic host and co-host. Always a blast to be with him. I mean, honestly, Jacob, to be honest, I guess Dev Patel is probably the best actor in the movie. You know, one, he's not in it all that much. I guess he is in it for a good part, but again, it's not good. I wouldn't say it's good in any capacity, but in terms of everyone else, I guess he kind of looks the best. Honestly, Chad, the person who looks the best is Iro, who should be called Iro, but instead of just, you know, saying Iro, I want to, MSH, I'm like, no, let's switch the vowels up. Put an E right in front of there, Iro. And you got Iro, chap. He is Zuko's uncle. He's the one that's been traveling with him ever since his exile from the Fire Nation, and he's just there to perform a little test for An. And he says, listen, you just perform this little test for me, and then you can, like, Iro is he's very kind, very genial. He says, let's just do this test. Once you're done, you can leave. And he's like, okay, or An. I'm sorry, chat. I keep saying Ain. The correct pronunciation, it's On. So On goes, yeah, I'll do it, Chief. And this, again, already, so, they're already breaking the logic. Because Iro just starts to put out, like a cup of water. He spills it, and it does, like, a fucking pattern. And then he puts out a rock, and that fucking moves and shit. And he's like, oh, that's weird. Well, you passed the test. This kid's the Avatar. Now, the reason why it doesn't make any sense, chat, is because Aang, he hasn't learned the three other elements yet. He's a master of airbending, as we know, but he doesn't know how to manipulate water. He doesn't know how to manipulate earth or even fire. And so, you're putting these things in front of him, and he's suddenly able to just do it when he has had no training. And we see later in the film, he struggles when it comes to water. Like, he can't waterbend at all. And he certainly can't earthbend, so why you do... It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Whitewashing, that's fine. Yes, absolutely. Oh, I had my own talk, like about 10 minutes ago, Tonio. Hear that, man. And so I'm like, how? What kind of test is this? You don't even, like, if you don't understand the lore, the logic of how this world operates, the fucking premise of the show is about this kid who's trying to master the elements. He doesn't know how to do them. That's what it's about. It's just like, oh yeah, you can do it. You're the Avatar. Zuko's like, I'm going to take you back to the Fire Nation and restore my honor. I'm going to tell you how I got this burn mark in a little bit, but that's too much exposition for this scene. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to leave. And he just fucking airbends his way out of the chat. He runs through the whole ship, jumps out, uses a little air glider, and he just happens to fly up to Appa. He sees on the edge of the cliff that Katara and Sokka have, and they just fly away. That's it. That's it. There's no cool action scene or anything. He just runs away. And Zuko's like, damn it. Well, shit. And then he does this thing. We then cut back to Aang, Sokka, and Katara. They have a very brief conversation. Aang goes like, I'm going to take you back to your village. Katara goes, no, oh yeah, because that's the thing. Like, Katara and Sokka, they had a conversation with their grandmother. She said, oh yeah, he's probably the Avatar. You guys should go with him. Maintain balance, spirits, all that good jazz. Yeah, go rescue that kid. They do it. And, you know, Katara says to Aang, no, we're coming with you. And Aang goes, okay. And then they just go off to the Southern Air Temple, Chad, because Aang, he still thinks that, oh, it's only been a few days, and I want to go see all the other air nomads. But little does he know, Chad, they've all been fucking exterminated. They're all dead. Their corpses are fertilizing the grounds as we speak of the ancient Southern Air Tribe Temple. And so he goes there, and then, Chad, we don't know how long they've been traveling for, by the way. And all of a sudden, during this scene, I believe it was because of ADR and all the fucking cuts, Katara, while they're just talking and walking around the temple, Katara asks, what is your name, little boy? And he goes, my name's On. Like, for the first time ever, they finally asked what his name was. Even though they've been traveling with him, now they think, I'm going to ask him his name. That's probably some good information for me and my brother to know. fucking ridiculous. It doesn't help that we have just that narrator. Like, Kotaro narrates the entire movie too, and it's just like we went here and we went there and then we did this, and all the lore and background is all in there, Chad. It's all coming at you at once. The entire thing that's fucking throwing it at you. They say we're the Southern Air Tribe. It's what the Southern Air Tribe and or just the air nomad culture is like. It's like, stop, it's too much. It's too much. And now you finally realize when he was writing this, oh yeah, maybe the people who are traveling with him for however long, let's say it's days, Joe. Let's say it's days. Let's say it's an hour. They never take the time to ask him what his name is until now, after they've been through all that shit. Sure. Great fucking film, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. And so they're there at the Southern Air Tribe Temple. And he's like, Monkiatsu, where are you? He's playing the trick on me. Chat, he runs into the character Momo, who is a bat monkey creature. He's very adorable. He's great. He's a flying lemur. Excuse me, he's a flying lemur. They call him like a bat monkey for whatever reason. I was like, that's not right. And it looks terrible. Again, $150 million, and everything looks like shit. The sets look like shit. The clothes look fine. But the CGI looks like shit. In this thing, you even tell that the actor, I get the kid. I think that actor's name is Noah Ringer, and this was his first acting role of his life. Previously, chat, he was just kind of a savant karate student, mixed martial artist. And the reason why he took on the role is apparently his classmates said he looked like the character of Aang, later renamed An for the film. And he said, you should try out for that movie. And he said he just said in a tape chat of him doing martial arts moves, like didn't say anything, no acting. M. Night Shyamalan went, that's my An right there, cast him. And then he took acting lessons before he did the movie. It's like, what the fuck? Anyway. So yeah, and he's petting Momo, chat, and his hand is like an inch off of where Momo should be, and he's just petting fucking air. They couldn't even map it right, chat. That's how bad the CGI in this movie. And that thing fucking flies around and shit. You don't care. He's barely even a character. You forget about him. He's in like maybe one other scene later on in the film, but then he's gone for most of it. He doesn't matter. Same with Appa doesn't fucking matter. You don't care about Appa. When I said I would have fucking stuck my goddamn spear in his eye and up into his brain and killed him, just rattled all around and use his use his fucking skin for warmth and his fat to insulate like our boats and shit. It's like you fucked up. You fucked up. But so he's just exploring the air nomad temple. And then he comes upon all the fucking corpses, the skeletons of his friends and mentors, sees Monkiatsu's body. Well, skeleton, but like some of his stuff is still well preserved, like his medallion. He's like, oh my god! He goes in the Avatar state, chat. And it's like, Katara's like, no, hey, don't do that. We could be your family now, even though we only know each other maybe for an hour, maybe several days, maybe it's been several weeks. I don't know. I'm sorry I didn't ask you your name. So he's in the Avatar state. And then he goes into, I guess, the spirit world, and he finds a dragon. And he starts talking to the dragon. The dragon, again, fucking word vomit. And listen to me, I have a limit amount of time because the director says you had to cut like about 40 minutes out of this thing. So, you got to master all four elements. You got air down. You got that good. You got to learn the water. You got to learn the earth. And you got to learn the fire. See ya! And he kicks him out. Katara's like, oh, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm sorry, chat. I'm so happy you're back. Avatar 8. I got to learn the four elements. Let's fucking go. And they go off, chat. Meanwhile, we cut back to Zuko and Iroh, and they are currently having a ceremonial dinner with Commander Zhao of the Fire Tribe, played by Asif Manvi. Funny enough, probably best known for being one of the correspondents in The Daily Show. Very weird casting, chat. And, oh, God. I feel sad. I feel sorry for Asif Manvi. Because there's like a recurring thing he says in this fucking movie that I found very humorous. And I could tell that it probably hurt him to do this movie. Because, like, he also wrote for The Daily Show for fucking years. And so he understands writing. He understands comedy. Like, he's a talented individual. And he probably went, when he started reading the dialogue he was giving, he's like, oh my fucking God, I made a terrible mistake. He really does. I don't blame him whatsoever. I don't blame a lot of the actors, but fuck me, of all the people I feel sorry for, I probably feel sorry for him the most. And he's just doing this whole fucking speech, and he's got General Iroh and Zuko right next to him. He's doing a whole speech in front of the troops, and he's just talking shit. He's just saying, yeah, today we have, Prince Zuko, whatever. The exiled Prince of the Fire Lord who embarrassed himself in front of his father, who is exiled for dishonoring the throne of our nation. We're allowing him today to eat with us. And now I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. He dares to wear the armor of our proud people. And he shouldn't. He should have that stripped off his body. But for the sake of tonight, we'll allow him to wear it and to pretend that he is one of us. And Zuko's like, hey, man, chill. He doesn't do that shit. He fucking freaks out, as you fucking would. He goes up there. He confronts him. He's like, someday, you piece of shit, you're going to bow before me. And he walks off. General Iroh, he walks off. And just, Commander, he's got this shit-eating goddamn grin in his face. You can't touch me. You can't do shit. He watches him walk away. So, okay, it's establishing that they got a bit of a tense relationship, Chad, in case it wasn't subtle. It might have been a little too subtle for some people, but I think that was the intention. So, we cut back to Aang, Katara, and Sokka, and they are, just fucking picking berries or something, getting food. All of a sudden, this little dirty earthbender boy, he comes up running, and he's being chased by these firebenders, Chad, soldiers of the Fire Nation. And they're like, hey, that kid was earthbending at us. He was throwing pebbles at us, and it hurt. That was the actual line of dialogue. And it hurts. It's like, okay. Toughen up, man. You're a soldier. Come on, what's wrong with you? And he said, we're going to fucking kill that kid. On Katara and Sokka, like, you're not going to hurt that kid. And Katara's like, all right, back up, boys. I got this. And so she starts waterbending, chat. And she's about to throw some water at them guys, but then she throws at her brother, freezes him fucking solid, chat. And it's like, well, I fucked up. And even though An could obviously kill these three, no problem. They're like, no, let's just all get arrested and get sent to the fucking Earthbender concentration camps. So now we're in the concentration camps, guys. And this is an adaptation of a particular episode, which is it's okay. It's not one of the better ones of the first season. It's called I think it's just called. Is it called Hero? It follows basically it's this village of Earthbenders who are captured by the Fire Nation, and all the Earthbenders are sent to a prison complex out in the ocean, where they work and do manual labor and all that shit for the Fire Nation to help with the war machine, help with the war effort. Now, chat, what worked about the episode, at least the idea was cool, is that, so to separate all the Earthbenders from, fucking Earth, they put them in a place where they had no earth to bend. Out at sea, this is the time when they couldn't bend metal or anything like that, and that was established like in season 2 and season 3, and only particularly powerful Earthbenders can do that. It's like, you just do that. But in this fucking place, they're walking on Earth everywhere. It's everywhere, chat. And then the movie introduces something I didn't realize. So, in the original show, airbenders, they can bend air and shit. It's like, oh, it's all around us. Waterbenders, they can, hey, I could take water from everywhere, from the fucking air I breathe and use that. Earthbenders was plenty of fucking earth, and firebenders can just, basically make fire out of thin air. They can make fire. They can have that natural reaction. It's like they create a spark and they fight. In this movie, they established that firebenders actually need fire. Like, if they don't have fire, then you're fucked. You're just a regular human schmuck. You might as well just be one of those dinky soldiers with a spear. And so it's like, that is weird. Because it also establishes the problem. It's like, how are the Fire Nation able to conquer the goddamn world without the ability to kind of do that? Like, that was kind of the thing. Like, the Fire Nation, yeah, they had their war machines, certainly, but the reason why they were able to create all this stuff was through firebending. And having so many other soldiers trained in firebending and shit. That's why they were able to do that. It was such a militarized society. So, again, another fucking big, huge plot hole, whatever. So, we're back at the Earth camp, and Aang's like, excuse me. He's like, okay, you know what, guys? I'm just going to give you a little pep talk, and I am the Avatar, so who's with me? And they go, you know what, little bald kid? We're with you. And then we get one of the, and I bet M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong thought he was so creative, because he does like a one-take kind of thing where the camera circles. I mean, there's some hidden edits and shit. Where it circles around and you watch everyone fight, and it is the most stilted, just terribly choreographed fight scene in the world, because you have we've seen how waterbending, we've seen firebending, and we've seen the airbending. Now we're going to see earthbending for the first time. And you see this whole protracted just, and you see a fucking a rock, chat. A rock just float by and then kind of blast off towards one of the Fire Nation soldiers. And they go, oh my god. But like all of that, you think, oh my god, it's gonna be like a fucking giant boulder coming in. It's like, no, it's a fucking floating rock. It's like, what? Really? Of all the things? That? Okay. Again, all the fight scenes in this chatter. And they got this fucking, they got, you know, I forget the guy, James Newton Howard, or whatever his name. They got the whole bombastic score playing. It does not fit with what's happening and what we're seeing. And they fight. They kick the Earth, the Fire Nation's soldiers' asses. They run away. No one dies. Sokka throws his boomerang. I liked when he threw the boomerang, chat. That was kind of cool. But you only get that one time. And so, yeah, he frees everybody. And then On and Katara, they go around the town, and they open up this cache where they're keeping like this ancient stuff, you know, scrolls for earthbending and stuff. But they also find a waterbending scroll, and because I love it. So, chat, Katara's narrating this as we're going exploring the city. She said they open up a cache, and the narration says, and we even as a narrator, she says, and we even found a waterbending scroll. We then cut to the old man, clearly the village elder, says, we have a waterbending scroll for you. And then he fucking hands it to Katara, and she says, this is a waterbending scroll. We've heard the same line of dialogue, like in succession, 3 times in the span of maybe a minute. And it's like, what? I get it. It's a waterbending scroll. I know. There's people manipulating water on it. What else do you need to know? It's that kind of shit that I'm like, I'm not a fucking moron, okay? All right? You could just, it's a waterbending scroll. That's all you needed. Like, you could have, the big reveal could have been Katara finds like, this is a waterbending scroll. This is exactly what I need. You know, establish what her character's supposed to be. Whatever. And so her and Aang, they practice waterbending. He's not good at it. He's kind of shit at it, chat. They go around. This is where they get all the montage of them going around the Earth Kingdom, freeing all these fucking villages, all these mud people. And they're like, yay, the Avatar. Like, people are like, oh, the Avatar's back. And then word gets back to the Fire Lord, chat. And he's like, what's this talk about this Avatar? Well, what? And, not Admiral yet, but Commander Zhao's like, yeah, well, people are saying that it's this boy. And Commander Zhao's like, I don't like that. I mean, I did send my son on this quest to find the Avatar, even though he won't fucking find him. But, hey, he might be able to do it. He can restore his honor. And, Commander Zhao's like, I do not want that to happen. He's like, Fire Lord, I will find the Avatar myself, and I will beat the shit out of your son. The Avatar's like, no harm shall come to my son. All right, listen, I wanted to dishonor him. Don't want to kill him, because then he can't learn his lesson if he's dead. So, I mean, yeah, feel free. Go ahead, go get the Avatar or whatever you can, if he exists. Do what you will. I'm gonna go back here and do evil things. It's like, okay, shit. And so, chat, we later come back to Zuko. He's on the hunt too. Like, he apparently abandons his I guess, a crew on his ship or whatever, and they're kind of going incognito, and they're going to all the Earth Kingdom villages that On and friends have liberated, and he's like, he's trying to track him down. I guess he's just following him. He's like, I'm a little noticeable in my ship, which is kind of smart, and so let's just do it this way. There's a whole scene with him and his Uncle Iroh. And Uncle Ear's just like, listen, man, just, fucking forget all this. Just, you know what? See those pretty girls over there? Just go talk to one of them. Have a good night. Settle down. Have a family. That's what you should be. You don't need all this shit. And then Zuko's like, how dare you? And he calls over one of, like, a little Fire Nation child. And this Fire Nation child, chat, he is now serving Katara's role, because he will be explaining Zuko's origin story. He says, hey, you know Prince Zuko, tell me about him. He does the whole thing, chat. Prince Zuko, he was defending the honor of these soldiers who are going to be sent on a mission to die. He contradicted the generals of Fire Lord Ozai's court. Because of that dishonor, Fire Lord Ozai, an Agni Kai was called. And Agni Kai is like a conflict between two firebenders, chat, a one-on-one match. Zuko walked out there, but he realized that the Agni Kai battle was going to be between him and his own father. He refused to fight his own father because he didn't want to do that. His father burned the ship, which he didn't really burn him that bad. Like, in the show, Zuko has, like, a horrific burn. A horrific burn, either on I forgot on which side of his face. But it's, like, really fucking bad. It's like, ew, it looks just like you touch it, it's like, ew. It's like gooey or some shit. It's really bad. Like, it fucked him, like, Harvey Dent kind of fucked him up. And this thing, he's got, like, a little burn. A little burn right there, a little burn right there, a little burn. It's like, that's nothing. You could cover that. No one, you don't even know it. It makes you look cool. What are you complaining about? But, you know, it was the Dishonor chat, and he's pissed off. So I don't have time for pretty girls right now, Uncle Eero. We're on the hunt for the Avatar. And then, chat, we cut back to On. He's feeling all depressed. He's not a good waterbender. And so, apparently they're near, because they're making their way to the Northern Water Tribe where they can actually find a master waterbender teacher. And hey, it's like along the way, there's the Northern Air Temple. I'm just going to leave Katara and Sokka here. I'm going to go up there myself. He visits their fucking places. No one's there. It's desolate, chat. All the airbenders have been killed. They've all been exterminated. Yeah, but he does meet one old man. Old man says, oh my God, I've been coming to this temple for so long. I never thought I would have the honor of meeting the Avatar. And On goes like, oh, thank you so much. I mean, I'm here to see my people. He's like, oh, young Avatar, I have one place that you should absolutely go to that is secluded in the temple. Let me show you. And he takes him to the room which we've seen in the original show, chat. I believe in the southern. It was a Northern Air Temple where we go there. And it's statues of all the various avatars, and like he takes him like this is your predecessor. This was your Avatar Roku. The former Avatar. He was of the Fire Nation. And On goes, cool. Now, the big thing about this chat that's confusing, in the original show, Avatar Roku acts as Aang's spiritual guide in his journey. So he's the one that Aang typically goes to the most. He's the Avatar that other than Aang himself, he's the one we're most exposed to. There's actually an episode that goes into his past and what his life was like in the third season. Like, great. Avatar Roku is actually a really cool character. And he's the one that interacts with Aang the most. But for whatever reason, they said, like, now let's do a fucking spear dragon. Forget Avatar Roku. Again, just fucking weird. Happens to be voiced by John Noble. Played Denethor in Lord of the Rings. So, little fun fact for you. And so he's like, oh, Avatar Roku, that's cool. I wish I could talk to him. But the writer said, no, I got to talk to a spirit dragon. And the old man said, well, fucking too bad. I betrayed you. And he's like, I did it for money and I'm poor and I'm hungry. And then all the Fire Nation soldiers go surround the Avatar, even though Aang could definitely just use his airbender to get the fuck out of there. Most it just takes too goddamn long. And so he's captured by, I always want to say Admiral. He's not Admiral. I'm going to call him Admiral Zhao. Admiral Zhao captures him, chat. And he has him in fucking chains. And then he wants to interrogate him. He wants to say, I have a theory, Avatar. Also, chat, there's a running joke in this movie. At least I think it's a running joke. Where at Commander Zhao, he consistently references that he made a raid against the Great Library. Says it multiple times, like, my Fire Lord, I have raided the Great Library, the library that most people did not believe actually existed. But I have raided this Great Library, and I have found a scroll that was from this Great Library. Says it again, like, I have the scroll from the Great Library. I know the location of these things. General Eero, I have actually, in my travels, raided the Great Library. Like, shit, like, repeatedly, all the fucking time. I get it. You raid a library from Season 2. It's a cool episode, and they reference you subtly in the second season. It's like, oh, that's really neat. And don't fucking hammer it in our heads. We get it. Anyway. And so he's talking to Aang. He's like, and he has a theory. He's like, oh, the reason why you're traveling around is because I believe you actually have not learned the other three elements. And that's his whole thing. And then he goes to report, again, I'm not sure, like, where, like, travel in this movie is very similar to travel in the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, because you can just fucking teleport. Like, it's a huge fucking world, chat. It's continents on this world. It's like, that's not like a fucking next door neighbor, like they're all connected or something like that, or a quick waterway. It's like, no, it's like separate continents over vast oceans and shit. And Admiral Zhao was like, yeah, I found the Avatar. I believe that he hasn't learned all the elements. It was, Pilot's like, oh, that's good. Bring him back here. And Commander Zhao was like, run away, sir. And he just goes back. It's like, why? So eventually, chat, Prince Zuko's like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to let that happen. And so he disguises himself as the Blue Spirit. And, like, the first time we introduced him was very funny, because it's when Commander Zhao is doing this big bombastic speech. And it's like, it's very well lit. Like, in an open courtyard, there's lights everywhere. I mean, I get it's nighttime, but it's well lit. It's, come on. And you just see in the background, like, Zuko, like, doing stealth. But he's not really doing stealth, chat, because he kind of, like, pounces, goes, and he's like looking at Commander Zhao like this, doing all these moves, and then he scampers off. It's like, no, you could. He's like, hey, who are you? No, arrest that man. That's what they would have done, but they didn't. Commander Zhao, all about his big speeches, chat, all about that great library, which he raided, by the way. Didn't exist previously, but he fucking found it. And then the blue spirit chat, it goes to the prison quarters, takes out, I think murders some people. There are some deaths in this movie. There's one death in this one. I'm like, Jesus, I remember that. But he murders some Fire Nation soldiers, chat. Goes to Ain's cell, fucking freezing. Like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. They start battling, everything like that. Eventually, they're kind of separating in the midst of the battle. Again, it's a terrible action sequence. I won't spend a lot of time with it. There's a point when Aang, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, but he sees the blue spirit fight. He's like, I gotta go back for that guy. I've abandoned people once, I'm not gonna do it again. He goes there, and him, the blue spirit, they're fighting in tangent chat. It's like really cool. It's not cool. And the idea of it's cool, but in the show, it's awesome. But here, it's not cool. Eventually, they're surrounded, and Zuko, smart, he suddenly, like, because Commander Zhao says, I'm not going to bother killing you, because if we kill you, you'll just be reincarnated yet again, and the search continues on. And Zuko's like, that's true. And then he fucking takes his swords, he's like, I'm going to fucking cut this little 10-year-old's throat, like, right here and right now, so back the fuck off, everybody. And he just starts walking out, and Aang's like, ah! And he's like, I was like, oh, shit, oh, no, go. And so he's backing out, chat, and then Commander's okay, he has an idea. Hey, get one of my archers up here. And while Zuko, he's all the way out of the gate at this point, chat, across the fucking bridge, you see one little lone arrow hit his fucking mask, knocks him out. And then Aang's like, oh my god, whoo, that was close. And he takes the mask off, chat, the blue spirit, and lo and behold, it's Prince Zuko. He's like, how? How did this happen? And then he's like, oh, I don't know what to do. So he creates a distraction, chat, and he drags off Prince Zuko's body, and he lays him to rest in the forest, and he scampers off back to Katara and Sokka. And Zuko's like, well, that was weird. I'm going to go back to Iroh, tell him what's what. During this time, Commander Zhao went back to Fire Lord Ozai. He said, I believe, I don't have any evidence, sir, but I think your son is the blue spirit. Well, if you don't have any evidence, then how do you know? Well, I believe, sir. I can't use fucking belief. All right, listen, I told you, my son's in exile. You don't harm him. All right, that's the way it is. And Commander Zhao's like, sure. And he goes back, Chad Zuko goes back to his uncle. Uncle's like, listen, you've been gone for a few days. Why don't you take a goddamn break? You needed this. Zuko goes, you know what, Uncle, I'm going to take you up on that. Goes on his ship, Chad. He's napping. Here's this leaky pipe. He's like, oh my god, it's the gas pipe. And the fucking ship explodes. Zhao sends somebody on the ship, Chad, to kill Zuko. It's not confirmed yet. But it's like, oh, we know what happened. Eventually, chat, we cut back to An and the gang, and they made their way to the Northern Water Tribe, which is a cool arc in the show, because we really start to understand water tribe culture. Apparently, it's a patriarchy, chat. Women are kind of treated like dog shit here, and like that whole arc, especially for Katara and what she was going through, was like very important. Fucking ignored. None of that is here. And they're going, yep, this is the water tribe. We're going to train you. We're going to train Katara too. Let's go. Gotta get moving. Only an hour and 40 minutes in this thing. Let's do. And then they train, chat. Sokka, he falls in love with Princess Yue. And they have maybe a scene together where it's like, oh, I'll protect you. And they start smooching, chat. It's like, Jesus Christ, that was fucking fast. Again, there's no time spent on developing characters' relationships. Everything's just fucking word vomit, exposition. It doesn't matter. And so they're smooching. Fun fact, chat. This is a good fun fact. Apparently, the actress who played Princess Yue, this is pretty cool. Saichel Gabriel, she is actually the voice actress for Asami Sato in The Legend of Korra, which is pretty cool. So it's like, that's weird how she's kind of had this interesting relationship with the franchise in general, being part of, something that's notoriously bad. And Korra, which, it certainly has its ups and downs, but like I always liked Asami as a character, and she was one of the bright spots of the Legend of Korra series. That was kind of cool. Yeah, she's also beautiful. She absolutely is. Absolutely is. Young Rambo, my Skyrim lore master, good to see you. Why did that general hate Prince Zuko so bad anyways? He had enough to deal with sister, but I don't know. He just happened to hate it. They can kind of explore that with Zhao. One, he's incredibly headstrong and bitter, and he's a sadist. He absolutely is a sadist. They really go into why he despises Zuko. It's just he doesn't like his authorities question. He's kind of like that, dictator-esque type character who's so sadistic he doesn't like to be questioned. It worked for the character himself and how he was used throughout the rest of the series. He was a cool season arc villain. You didn't need to see him again, I think. Because season 1 he did well, and he comes back, Legend of Korra, really, which is pretty cool. But, yeah, I haven't really explained it. What happens here? Okay, yeah, so then they do all the whole shit chat training. We got a lot of exposition. We learned that apparently the Water Tribe, how they get their power is from these fish. And they hold the spirits. It's two kois, yin and yang chat. They hold the spirits of the ocean and the moon, I think. That's it. And so if anything happens to these fucking fish, everyone's fucked. All the Water Tribe people are fucked. It's like, oh, that's not good. And when all chat, we cut back to the Armada. Commander Zhao, he finally got permission from Firelord Ozai to attack the northern Water Tribe. It's gonna be a hell of an effort. But hey, I got a secret plan because, as you know, Firelord Ozai, I happen to have raided the Great Library. In the Great Library, I found a scroll, and in that scroll, which I found in the Great Library, told me the location of the ancient moon and ocean spirits. They happen to be at the Northern Water Tribe. And Ozai's like, fucking great, man. Kill them. Be done with it. Even Zhao's like, I don't know if I want to do that. He's like, no, let's do it. Let's kill it. Hey, listen. Kill them. Take over everything. Fuck these water people, all right? Who gives a damn? And, you know, they're like, all right, I'll go do it. And so when, you know, Zhao, he's got his fleet together, chat. He's got General Iro with him. General, you know, and he's like, General Iro, I'm so glad to have you join me, despite your failure at Bossing Say, my condolences, didn't your son die in that battle? Again, just like, dude, stop it. Stop with the mustache trolling. We fucking get it. And General Iro was like, yeah, my son did die. Appreciate your condolences. He's like, also, I'm so sorry that your nephew burned alive only days prior. It's like, wow, all right, dude. And General Iro's like, thanks, man. I'm gonna go back here. And then, chat, we cut back. They got the fucking fleet lined up and everything. And lo and fucking behold, Zuko, he's alive, he's a stowaway, and he just wants to get the Avatar. Him and General Iro, they have a heart-to-heart, that kind of thing. And it might be the most authentic moment in the movie, honestly. They have barely anything to do, but there you fucking go. So he goes off, and he does like his little spy mission. At one point, chat, what happens here? Where are we? Oh, yeah, because then Avatarian's like, I have to connect to the Dragon Spear because I got to ask him some advice. Prince Ayu is like, hey, I'm going to give you some word vomit. So the reason why my hair is white and all that shit is I was still born. My parents prayed to the moon spirit. It then imbued me with life. That's why my hair is white. Now, that aside, I'm going to take you to the moon and ocean spirit. That's going to be a great place for you to, meditate and shit. And so he goes there, chat, and then more vomit. And he goes, in air culture, you guys wouldn't know because everyone's been dead for 100 years. But in, ancient air nomadic culture, some air nomads would be able to meditate for 4 days. Why do we need to know that? Okay, all right. He starts meditating, chat. Katara, she agrees to watch over him. Fucking Sokka and Princess Yue, they go. They do their thing. The Zhao attacks. Zhao says, General Iro, I happen to have raided the Great Library, and I found a scroll, which happens to reveal something very important that could help us win this battle. And so they start invading, chat. They're attacking, and fucking the last time, there's one more time he mentions the scroll, chat. One more time. It's when they finally make landfall. The ship opens up. Him and General Iro, they're walking out and shit. All their soldiers are behind him. One of his soldiers carrying the scroll from the Great Library, and General or Commander Zhao opens up. Oh yes, the scroll from the Great Library. It's like, Jesus, we get it. You raided the Great Library. Fucking Christ. Am I being raided? I'm sorry, did I miss a raid? Holy shit. Holy shit. Well, maybe I just need to stop. I can take a fucking breath. Oh. Asami Sato is Korra's boo in that series. They all chat. They were doing it. They're such a fucking cute couple. I'm glad she wasn't with that Mako guy. No chemistry whatsoever. They should have got together in the first season, chat. They're adorable. Anyway. Ah! Done with the $25 donation. That's how the stretch goal reached. That is another. Yes, raid. That's raid. The Great Library. I just got that. Listen, man, I've been saying that word has lost all meaning, raid. For this particular stream. It doesn't matter anymore. Oh my god. Chris, if you could bet an element, what would it be? Air. I want to fucking fly, baby. I'll be an airbender, my friend. That'd be cool. Oh, where are we? Stretch goal. Yeah, we got 2 stretch goals. We'll do them right after this, guys. We're almost done with the review. Almost done. So where are we? Oh, yeah. Landfall. Shit. Okay, battle. A lot of CGI battles happening, chat. There's also a lot of scenes where people just aren't fighting anybody. There's people doing kung fu moves like by themselves. It is awful. Like, that is noticeable. We then cut to Aang meditating. He's talking to the fucking dragon about... I think... What does the dragon say? Oh, yeah, he's asking him, okay, how do I defeat the Fire Nation? He goes, make a big wave. And he goes, oh, shit, that's a good idea. He's still in the thing. But then, chat, while Katara's looking on... Zuko, he appears. Katara's just doing the whole thing. It's like, oh, we've always needed you. We always knew you'd return. And Zuko pops in. I knew you'd return too. And then him and Katara just start battling, chat, start wrestling. And again, fucking more, because this is the first time in the movie that Zuko and Katara, like, Zuko finds out what Katara's name is. Because all that time is kept. So there's, like, no relationship. There's absolutely no relationship between Zuko and, with the exception of An to a certain degree, but between Zuko, Katara, and Sokka. I don't think, no, they haven't even met yet. They haven't even, no, because they never actually come across each other. Because An is on the ship in the beginning of the movie, and they never, no, they do meet Zuko, that's true, in the very beginning. But still, that was the only interaction with him was when he's attacking the Southern Water Tribe, or invading the Southern Water Tribe. But, like, he's like, and then Katara's like, my name is Katara, and I am the last waterbender of the Southern Water Tribe. Why is that important to know? I mean, I know you're trying to get Zuko cut up on things. He doesn't even know who the fuck you are, even though he should. But, whatever. They battle, chat. Katara, she gets her ass kicked. Zuko, he captures on drag. He's still having the fucking visions and shit. Puts him in like a little igloo apartment or whatever. And then Zuko just says, I'm going to tell my life story to you now, so now I'm known to talk. And then he's just fucking babbling, chat. It's like, yeah, my sister's a fucking sociopath. My mom, you know, I miss my mom. No, what happened to my mom? We're going to find out what happened to my mom. My dad hates me. Every time he looks at me, I can tell he hates me. And Aang's like, what? What? he finally wakes up. Oh, shit. Yeah, he escapes. Zuko goes after him. They start fighting, chat. It doesn't look good. Eventually, him and Aang kind of come to a stalemate. Katara fucking walks in there, fucking freezes Zuko alive. Like, oh, he's like, okay, like his entire body is frozen. He's gonna suffocate in there. And Aang's like, fuck, all right, I'm gonna kind of melt this so he can live a little bit. He melts it, chat, and him and, An have a heart to heart. And An's like, hey, man, you could be my friend if you tried. And he fucking walks off. And then, chat, Commander, they go back to the koi pond. Commander Zhao, he's got the moon spirit. He's like, I'm gonna kill you! But General Iroh says, man, don't fucking mess with the spirits, man. Come on. Don't do that. Come on, man. He's like, no, fuck that. He stabs the koi. It fucking dies. The moon turns red. The waterbenders lose all their powers. Like, shit. That fucking triggers General Iroh. And he just, again, even though, chat, it's established in this movie that you need actual fire to firebend. He's like, no, I can just do it automatically. And he just uses his firebend. Everyone's like, what the fuck? How's he doing that? It must be just for the sake of the plot. So he's able to automatically firebend. Everyone just fucking runs away in fear. Princess Yue comes over and is like, it's a dead fish. Well, I happen to be, since, as you all know from my story I told you about 20 minutes ago, no, less, 15 minutes ago, come on. I was imbued with the moon spirit's essence, and I will give my essence back to the fish. And she does so, chat. She's fucking dead. She kind of becomes the new moon spirit. Yay! Her and Sokka smooch before she becomes a human fish girl, human fish girl, and that's it. Then we cut back to Zhao. His troops are retreating because the waterbenders are more powerful than ever because when the moon's arisen, they're far more powerful. He's like, oh, that's not good. But then Zhao is confronted with Zuko, and they're about to fucking square up. But then General Iroh comes in and is like, nephew, no, you're not worth it. You're not worth it. You're not worth it at all. And he's like, you know what your problem is, Zhao? You always do things by yourself. You're always alone. And they fucking leave chat. And then we come to the most, fucked up scene of the movie, which I forgot about. Because in the original series, Zhao dies here. He's actually, because Aang, because of the how vengeful I think the ocean spirit is? I think it's the ocean spirit, how vengeful the ocean spirit is. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill everybody. And the Avatar and the ocean spirit combine into one massive organism, like a fucking kaiju. And he just fucking murders all the Fire Nation soldiers, pushes their ships back and everything, In this movie, it's a little different. We're not there at that point yet. But in this scene, chat, Zhao is just drowned by like 4 very angry waterbenders. They just, again, all white people for whatever reason. They all come up there. They use their water and they create like this little fucking like giant bubble of water around him, and they just drown him in fucking midair, and his body just jumps. He's like, bleh. It's like, fuck, that was kind of fucked up. And so he's dead. You see his body, his eyes are like all the way in the back of his fucking skull, and it's like, ugh. So Zhao's been taken out, chat. It was very dark. Yeah. Okay, so Aang, he's like, oh yeah, I should do the thing the dragon told me. Make big wave! We get a big wave, chat. He gets the avatar speed, he's doing all the moves and stuff. And he makes the big wave, and it pushes back the Fire Nation fleet. They kind of get out of the way of the wave at first, but he pushes them all back. And everyone's like, yay! Also, Zuko and Iroh, they kind of went off on their own. It's like, we don't really know what to do. Man, for the sequel, for the inevitable sequel, then we'll find out what we need to do. And then everyone's like, oh, fuck the Avatar. Thank you for saying. They all bow down, Chad. And in a weird move, Sokka and Katara also bowed down. And it's like, they wouldn't do that. They're fucking family at this point. They wouldn't fucking bow to him like he's some god. And Aang on just does this fucking move like, yes, you will bow. Yes, you will. It's like, this is weird. and it cuts the credits. But or you think, chat, we have a stinger. And now we cut back to the Fire Nation chat. And we get Fire Lord always on. He's just talking monologue. He's like, well, Commander Zhao, he fucked up, despite his whole talk about that raid in the Great Library came the jack squat. Your brother's a fucking failure. I don't know where my brother is. Hopefully you will not fail me, daughter, in this important task. And then shall we cut? It's Princess Azula. And it's like, oh, and she was such a great villain in season 2 and season 3 of Avatar: Last Airbender. And it's like, there she is. And she's like, I will not fail you, father. And it's like, ooh, you're a bad actress, aren't you? And then it cuts to black, chat, and that's it. That is the last Airbender. There were supposed to be 2 sequels, but thankfully, because of the underperformance of the box office, though none of those films were greenlighted. This movie is considered to be one of the worst movies of all time. It's referenced as such on the Wikipedia page, and Wikipedia does not fucking lie, as we know. And yeah, it's a terrible film, chat. Do not watch this. Watch it unless you have something like riff tracks in that kind of way. I would not suggest watching this in any other capacity. It is a god-awful fucking film. It is a disgrace to the original animated series. It's insulting, and it also affected what we could have seen in the future. Like, we could have gotten, like, it would have been kind of cool to get straight to TV or straight to streaming or DVD, Blu-ray copies, VOD releases of the further adventures of Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, Zuko, explore those other things that they kind of talk about in the comics. Like, I think that would have been cool. Them as when they were older as adults and, Aang and Katara having children. Like, that would have been really cool to see. Like, all these wonderful relationships that come to fruition that results in the next generation born. I think that would have been awesome. But we didn't. Because of this movie. And so that's why I have a very personal grudge against this film. Anyway, what do you guys think about The Last Airbender? Welcome to the stream, by the way. In case I didn't see you before, in case you're just tuning in, welcome. Hope you're all having a very nice Friday evening, chat. I have some fucking stretch goal polls to do. We'll do so in a second. It sucks. It stinks. Says Star. Twitchy Rascal, welcome. It would have been awesome, agreed. But you're absolutely right, Darkslayer. Jacob, I always wanted to see The Search made into an animated film with Dante Bosco. Oh, and Grey DeLise reprising the roles Zuko and Azula. Yeah, that's a fantastic episode of The Search. The Search and also Zuko Alone. Season 2 was really fucking good. Burlington Chris, all I know is the Netflix live-action Airbender show coming out next year better smash the movie out of... I would hope so. It won't take a lot, but I hope that they treat this with respect. I think they know. They can't fuck this up. And we all know that Netflix has now had a good track record when it comes to doing live-action adaptations of anime, but hopefully they get this right, Chris Ayers, apparently, Asif Manvi kicked the fish to death in the original... Kicked the fish to death. You stupid motherfucker, you! I'm not kidding. That was apparently a thing, and test audiences couldn't stop laughing when they saw that. He pulled the Joe Pesci. You motherfucking fish! Oh my god. Oh, true. At least it'll be ethnically correct. Yeah, that's what they've said. Which would be really cool to see. Probably see a whole cast of actors you've never seen before on screen. That'd be fun. Not one character, aside from Zuko, acted like their show's counterpart. Even when Dev Patel's acting like Zuko, still wasn't good. Funny enough, Dante Bosco actually was campaigning hard to play Zuko in the movie. And I'm glad he didn't get it. You know, I mean, he deserves better. He deserves so much better. Even if he probably was, because the day he walked on the set, he wouldn't like, oh my god, I made a mistake. I made a horrible mistake. I think I'm hopeful for the Netflix series, guys. The fact that they have the creators like so intimately involved with that's a good sign. And the guy who played Iroh was yes, I forget he's been in other things too. He's a character actor. And, like he wasn't. Again, I wouldn't say he was good, but he was probably the best out of everyone in the movie. That actor was the best, who played General Iroh, technically. Dante's a freaking great guy. He was amazing. No, he is. I've always heard that. No, he's a great voice actor, too. He's done a ton of stuff. I'm very happy for him. Anytime I've seen him do interviews or things, or, like, be involved, like, you know, I remember back in the day when the Nostalgia Critic did a review for Avatar: The Last Airbender. He actually, Dante Bosco was part of the skit and everything to get his honor back. I was like, it was pretty funny. So no, he's a great guy. I've always heard that. I've always seen it in the stuff he's been featured in. He's fucking Rufio in Hook. He's the best part of that movie. I remember walking on The Last Airbender since I was still in the middle of finishing the season TV series, and I believe I made the right choice. Yeah, Yep. I walked out of it too, so I've never seen the ending of this movie. That's why I was so shocked by Commander Zhao's death in the film. Did not think that was going to happen. I thought he was going to be sucked under the water or something. They weren't going to kill him. Rufio. But guys, with that, I'm going to take a momentary break. I'm just going to refill my tea. I need some liquids in me. I've been doing a lot of talking. And we'll come back and do some poll chat. And I'm going to read another chapter of erotic Sonic fan fiction. So please entertain yourselves amongst yourselves. I shall return.